Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me on this webinar. I'm really excited to share tips with you today that I've learned in my role as a She Means Business social media trainer. Now, what is that? I was trained by Facebook, so I went to Facebook in London, and I was trained by Facebook, who owns Instagram, in content around everything to do with Facebook and everything to do with Instagram. And the content that I'm going to share with you today is directly from Facebook. So you'll see as we move along that these slides have been created by Facebook and they are their tips directly from them. So I'm really excited about sharing these because there's nothing better than getting tips from the social media networks themselves. So if you don't know much about me, I'm actually making it my mission to demystify marketing for small business. So I think that for far too long, small businesses have thought that they can't create great marketing that's every bit as great as the bigger businesses. And I think you can, and sometimes I think you can do better than them. And I'm here to help you. I want to help you. And as I mentioned, I'm a Facebook She Means Business social media trainer, and I'm also an Enterprise Nation advisor. And I just love making marketing more accessible. You can find me on all the places on this slide. I share tons of marketing tips there, and I break down what you can, how you can achieve great marketing results for your business. So I'd love to see you in the network that you use most. And I've just realized that I have not put my Facebook group up there. So I have a Facebook group that goes more in depth into marketing tips, and there is content on there that isn't available anywhere else. If you'd like to join that, go to Facebook and search for Small Business Marketing Motivation. So I'd love to see you in any of those networks. And as I said, one of the things I love to do is just take the mystery out of marketing. So if you have a particular marketing topic that you want to know more about, just let me know. I'll turn it into a blog post or some kind of video, or maybe even create a webinar just to help you get on top of that. The last thing I will say is that I send out marketing tips in a weekly newsletter. And if you'd like to join my list, you can do that in any of these networks. There's a link in most places where I am. If you can't find it, drop me a line at that email address on the screen, and I'll send you a link so that you can join. Great, so let's get going. I'm just checking there are no questions. Brilliant. Okay, so let's talk about Facebook. So I'm going to launch a quick poll. How many of you know that Instagram is part of the Facebook family? I think I just gave that away a little bit there. You should see a poll on your screen, and you can vote and see how many of you knew already, before I mentioned it, that Facebook is part of the Instagram family. So Instagram was actually bought by Facebook in the spring of 2012. It seems like ages ago. I remember it happening actually, and thinking, oh gosh, that's going to be quite the partnership. And whilst Instagram remains a standalone business within the Facebook family, they leverage each other's strengths. So you kind of get the best of both worlds by using Facebook and Instagram. So let's close that poll, and wow, 71% of you already knew that Instagram is owned by Facebook. It's part of the Facebook family. So that's brilliant. Like I said, each one has its own strengths, and you can use those, you can leverage those for your business. So their global community is also massive, and it's growing. And over the past 6 years, Instagram has actually grown to over 800 million active users, and that's worldwide. And to put that into perspective, they've reached 150 million users, million users. I think maybe a million users, 2 years sooner than Facebook. And their users are incredibly diverse as well. So 80% of Instagrammers live outside of the US, which I found really surprising because I thought it was quite a lot bigger in the US. And on Instagram, there really is something for everyone, and there are communities for kind of every part of your life, for members from all backgrounds, races, ages, genders, all of that. Beyond that, Instagram communities is really engaged. They, like I said, 2 million active users, 25 million businesses use Instagram, and 300 million people use Instagram stories every day. And if you haven't heard of Instagram stories, really, that's something that you should really look at using for your business, because video is just getting bigger and bigger. More businesses are using video, and it's it's a really good medium to communicate very quickly with people and not lots of text. So Instagram stories are a great way to share little videos, but know that you can only I think it's 15 to 20 seconds of video. But the use of Instagram stories is just getting bigger and bigger. Okie dokie. So why do people come to Instagram? So there's a number of reasons, but really the one thing that I took away from what Instagram, Facebook told us is that people come to Instagram to get inspired. And I think that's true. If you look at photos on images on Instagram, they do really portray quite an inspirational kind of image. And it's something that that's because images are universal. Like we could all post text, but people, we're all going to pretty much post in English, and hope that all our followers understand what we're talking about. But images are universal. You don't need to understand a particular language to understand what an image is trying to portray. And you are inspiring people to perhaps take action, or take the next step that you want them to take. Oh, I flipped one early. There we go. So why images? Well, this kind of just sums it up, really, that images, the human brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than words. And that's incredible. That's, to get your message over in a couple of seconds with an image is absolutely an incredible thing that you could be doing for your business. And that just makes it easier for you to really talk about your business values, perhaps, product launches, behind the scenes, anything that is to do with your business in an image can really be consumed and kind of processed by the brain that much more quickly than text can. And it's just, significantly the most efficient way of kind of bringing people closer together. And as you can see, people spend 5 times longer looking at video than static images. And think about your consumption of social media. How many of those dog and cat videos do you watch? I saw a really funny one at the weekend last week, and I've shown it to numerous people. I think I've watched it about 20 times altogether. But it just means that you kind of connect people much more quickly, and it's just a really great way to cultivate your community and, engage with them and have them engage with you. So all those stats are brilliant, but what is really important is that Instagram also gives people the opportunity to connect with the things that they care about. So whether that's, their friends, their favorite musicians, their favorite businesses, their favorite small businesses, it's all about what matters to them most. And Instagram is, what they want to do is to bring people closer to the things that they love. And one of those things in the passion points is business. Okay. So 80% of Instagrammers follow a business. And 60% of users say they learn about products and services on Instagram. And that's really powerful for us small businesses. It's huge because, we don't have those massive, great big budgets that the big businesses have, right? We don't have them. And we need to find a really good, cost effective way to reach our audience. And Instagram helps you do that because you can see by these statistics that people are looking for things to buy. They're looking for businesses to follow and looking for things to buy that really actually already fit into what their passion and their interest is. So one of the things that Instagram is really proud of is that it inspires in action. So 75% of millennials search, shop and share after they've been inspired by a post. And you may think, oh, well, my audience isn't really millennials, but if your audience is on there and this is what Instagram is actually, encouraging people to do, then this is what's going to happen for you as well. And the fact, they're already gravitating towards the things that they love most. And it's just a natural fit for businesses who particularly are looking to reach a young audience. But I have to tell you that most of my followers don't fit into that young audience. They kind of fit into the post 35 age audience. So, think about whether Instagram really is the social network for you to reach your target audience. And if it is, it's just a great platform to help you do that. And using it is pretty easy, right? It's on your phone. You have your phone with you all the time. I know because it's what I run my business from. So I have that phone with me all the time. So it just makes it easy for you to post things. You can plan things out, but you can also be spontaneous, and it's visual, so you don't have to make lots of effort. If you want to just snap a picture of your workplace, that's really easy for you to do. Oh. So let's get to the nitty gritty of this, because I know you want all the tips that were shared with me. So after this session, you're going to really understand why you should, if you haven't already done this, why you should switch to a business profile, and what that means for your Instagram account. We're going to look a little bit at how what an Instagram story is and how you can create one for your business. And you'll learn a bit about Instagram shopping and how you can create shops within your Instagram business profile. And if you want to see an account that does that really well, check out Martha Brooke London. She, really great story behind her business, but she sells all kinds of personalized stationery, and her Instagram account is really fantastic. And she's very good at really kind of promoting her online shop through her Instagram account. So that's Martha Brooke London if you want to check her out. So let's look at some of these best practices for your for Instagram, using Instagram for your business. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about getting started. We're going to look at some creative tips. Like I said, we'll cover Instagram stories. We'll look at shopping on Instagram, and then I'll talk a little bit about ads on Instagram as well. So first things first, how do you get started on Instagram? Well, in 2016, Instagram built tools especially for business owners that would make using Instagram even easier, right? So first they created the business profile, and a business profile helps you stand out from personal profiles on Instagram. So switching to a business profile also unlocks new features like the ability for a customer to email you or to get directions to your business from within Instagram, and it unlocks insights. Now for me, this profile is really great because I obviously, you're at a webinar of mine, but I host a number of events and I use Eventbrite for in-person events, and right from my profile, if somebody goes there, there's an option for them to click to get tickets, and they can go to my Eventbrite profile and look at which events I've got coming up, and they can book straight away. So that's a great opportunity for me to get people to events that I'm hosting. And with Insights, so we talked about unlocking insights. With Insights, you can see which of your posts are getting the most engagement. You can also see when your followers are active, and you can get a basic rundown of who your followers are. So on the screen there, you can see that this account is split between, it's 81% of the followers are men and 19% women, and they're split between ages 18 to 24. Now you can see that within your Insights if you have a business profile. And finally, after you switch, you can promote a post directly from the Instagram app. So similar to how Facebook has the Boost Your Post feature, you can choose a post and turn it into an ad to reach people with your message from your mobile device. Okay, and we're gonna cover that a little bit more in more detail later on. But before you can look through those insights or promote a post, you've got to set up a business profile. So do you just tap in the box if you already, in the question box, do you already have a business profile? Let me see if you have. Who already has a business profile? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, one yes. Claudette has got a business profile. Catherine's saying she's not sure if it's business or not. You'll be able to tell that when you look at your profile. You'll be able to see, because it will have the email, what you're seeing on the screen, email and directions. So you'll be able to see whether you've got a business profile. So quite a lot of you are saying no, and you are missing out on not having a business profile. So like I said, when you create a business profile, you're able to share valuable information with your followers and potential customers, like your business address or contact information. And you can get that actionable information about which posts are performing the best, which days of the week and times are best to post, and the demographic breakdown of your followers. So before I schedule my posts for Instagram, and I schedule my posts, but I always interact live on Instagram, on all my social networks, in fact. I look at, before I schedule, I look at the days of the week, and I look at the times that are busiest on my where my followers are most online, and that's when I post, and that helps me maximize the engagement that I get from my posts. So, and with a business profile, as we said, you can also promote any of the posts that you shared, and you can include a button like learn more, so you can reach new customers in your target audience. Now, to set up a business profile, you click on the settings button, which is, if you go to your profile, you should see the settings button. Let me just check, because I have got a personal profile, because I like to be able to see what's in personal and in business. So you go to your profile, and then in the top right hand corner you'll see 3 horizontal lines, and if you click on that, in the bottom you should see settings. So you go to settings, and then what you do is you find the option to switch to a business profile, and you do what follow their process for doing that. And then once you've got that, you're going to unlock this free suite of tools to understand how your posts and Instagram stories are performing in the business insights section of your account. And like I said, you can also promote posts right from within the Instagram app. So once you've converted to a business profile, like I said, insights are accessible by clicking the View Insights button. You can do that right from the post. So if you look at your post in Instagram, there'll be a link at the bottom of the post that says View Insights, and you can look at that for individual posts, or you can go and look at the insights for the whole of your account by going to your profile. And you can see how each one has performed. You can see how people are engaging with them. You can even see how many people went from that post to your profile. Because if you've asked them to go to your profile to take an action, like clicking on a link or emailing you, you'll be able to see how many people have done that. And again, you can also see insights for stories as well, Instagram stories, but you'll see those for both posts and Instagram stories. You'll only see these insights once you've converted your overall account. And you can use all of that information to really help you generate more content that your followers will love. So, and I wanted to just share this quote with you from a business here in the UK that has actually leveraged their insights to better understand their audience on Instagram. And you can see that, it had an immediate impact on their content strategy. And because they always had thought that the majority of their audience was female, so they posted female focused content. But once they switched, the tools showed them that actually 20% of their followers are male. So they're now switching up their content and trying new things to appeal to the male followers that they have. So I'm just going to stop and see if there are questions. Elaine has asked, so she's saying she's not been on Instagram yet. I think Instagram would be a great platform for you, Elaine. So she says, do you need to set up an individual profile before you set up a business one, or can you set up a business one first? You can set up a business one first, but if you've already got an individual profile that you've been using to promote your business, then I would say switch that over to become a business profile. But if you're not on Instagram at all, you can start right off from scratch with a business profile. Right, let's have a look, see. So someone's just asked again how I went. I think maybe I went a bit too fast about switching to a business profile. So how do you switch to a business profile? You go to your personal profile and go to your profile page. And Instagram have changed this now, but what you should see, I think it varies from phone to phone. I have an Android, but you will see 3 horizontal lines because they've cleaned up their interface a little bit. So 3 horizontal lines, and if you click on that will open up another screen, and on that screen you will see settings, and you click on there, and then what you do is you scroll down until you find switch to business profile, and you do select that, and then follow the steps that they tell you afterwards, and then you will be switched over to a business profile. Katie is saying, I've got a blog, would a business profile still be valuable for this? Yes, absolutely. So I share all my blog posts on my business profile, and the way that I do that, because if everyone doesn't know, Instagram doesn't let you have any links in the post, and you can only have one link in your profile. And what I do is I use an app called Linktree. That's link and tree, as in tree with leaves. And what that does is it lets me build a page where I can have several links in there to content that I want to share. And people click on the one link on my business profile and they get through to a landing page that has several things that I want to share. And I always do share my blog posts. I always preface my blog posts with read, so people know that they're going off to read something. Claudette says she has a business account, but noticed there's an option for a business profile. I think, Claudette, maybe perhaps you still have a personal account then if it's asking you if you want to switch to business, but I can't really tell without seeing. Angela's asked, can you have a personal account and a business account with the same email address? I don't think so. My personal account has my personal email address, and I had that before I actually started a business account. And I don't use it very much, but I have it just so that I know what's happening with it. And my business account, I'm pretty sure, has my business email address. So I don't think you can. Paola's saying that they want to, if I want to change the name of my personal profile from my business profile, shall I do that before switching to my personal to business? Yes, I think that's probably a good idea, is to change your name. I haven't been through the process of changing my name. But if it's anything, I don't know if it's anything like Facebook, because with Facebook, if you get past a certain number of users, you have to apply to change your page name. So yeah, I would investigate changing that before you switch your personal profile to business, just to make sure that it does all go across. Cool. Okay, I will come back to questions at the end if there are more, but I just want to make sure that we get through all the content. So now that you've converted over to a business profile, let's look at a few creative tips that you can use to really make your Instagram profile sing, as it were, or inspire people. So TypeHype is actually one of an Instagram user. It's a retail and design shop in Berlin. And they use a mixture of mobile phone and a DSLR camera, natural light, and quite a minimalistic style to define their brand. And so you can see there on the video that they're using quite quality photos. And I have to tell you that you don't have to have lots of expensive equipment to look good on Instagram. So you can take great quality photos on your mobile phone, and a lot of mobile phones today have really good cameras. So just make sure that you have good lighting. Make sure that whatever you're photographing is near natural light, like a window or a door frame. You can add external lighting with a lamp or a flashlight, or you can get quite inexpensive lighting kit even that online to actually make your photos look great. But like I said, you don't need anything more than the camera on your mobile phone. But just take your time taking the picture and make sure that it looks, you framed it properly. Use the grids on your mobile phone, because you've got this whole thing about having thirds, like having your photo in thirds of the frame. So use the grid lines that you can get select on your phone to help you do that and frame that image properly. And I found really that getting in close is a good way of getting a good sharp photo. Okay, so, and keep your profile diverse with fresh content. So make it feel like it's an extension of your brand's personality. Use compelling photos and videos and create your brand identity. And when you're taking photos, go square, or better yet, go vertical, and then intersperse video or multiple photos amongst your photo feeds. So I'm trying to do that. I've sort of refreshed my Instagram grid to make it look much more in line with my branding. And I'm sharing a lot of images, but I want to share a bit more video and multiple photos. With multiple photos, so you do have to post live, I have to say. So think about how that is going to look on your feed. And then, speaking of video, it's like I've said, video is something that's being used more and more now. It is it's just easier to take in, and this whole is kind of like a familiar format to you. And stories, which is the latest format in visual communication, is quite a fun, light-hearted way for your business to share more things that are things like behind the scenes moments with your followers. It just makes it easier for that to happen. So and people are spending more time watching video online. And in fact, it's estimated that by 2021, video traffic is going to be 82% of all consumer internet traffic. So imagine that. Imagine that 82% of people are going to be watching video on the internet. And if you're not doing video now, that's you're going to be at a disadvantage. So start thinking about how you can incorporate video into your marketing. So there are lots of apps out there that can help you create videos. But there's one within Instagram that is really easy to use, and that's Boomerang. So Boomerang just makes everyday moments a little bit more fun and a little bit more unexpected. And it's a little repetitive video. It's a mini video, and it just loops constantly. And it just adds a little bit of movement to your feed, a little bit of excitement. And just as an example, on stories, 25% of videos that are shared are boomerangs, and it's just really easy. You can do a boomerang right from within your Instagram app, and it's really easy to take your phone out and snap something. It just needs to be, it can be just a movement. Like if you're at an event, you could take a boomerang selfie with a few of you waving, and it's just that repetitive movement. And you don't need bulky tripods or expensive equipment. There's an app called Hyperlapse that lets you create polished time-lapse videos. And I know I've got an app, a Hyperlapse app. I think it's a Google one that's on my phone. But if you want to share something that's a little bit longer that you do within your business, but you want to speed it up, a hyperlapse video will help you do that. And you don't have to have a massively expensive tripod. I got a tripod from the pound shop for £1, so it doesn't have to be expensive for you to create these kinds of video. And here's an example from a business called Inspiralized. So you can see that they're putting together a boomerang, and all they're doing, they've set it up, it's in natural light, they've got a nice base for that video and a white background, and they're using their mobile phone. And it makes you feel like you're right in her kitchen. And that's a video that they've used on their Instagram profile. And you can see how that is really helping them to engage their audience. Okay, so I'm going to stop there now again, just to see if there are any more questions. Let's have a look. Oh. Well, so there's more questions on business accounts. So am I best to start a separate business account? So Angela, if your personal account is everything to do with your business, then I would just switch it to a business account, because you already have your following, and you've got the engagement there, but what you're missing is the insights and the ability to promote posts. So if you have everything that's on your personal account is to do with your business, then I would just switch accounts rather than starting a separate business account. If anyone is not already on Instagram and they want to start, then I would start off with, I would create a business account from scratch rather than going from personal to business. So in terms of, there's a couple of questions here about the creative tips. So what apps can I use to create good content? So we've already talked about Boomerang. If you're taking pictures and they're not perhaps they haven't turned out as well as you want them to, I use an app called Snapseed, and that helps me enhance my photos and get a little bit more out of them and make them look a little bit sharper. I also use an app called Colourpop, and colour is spelt the American way without the U. And what that lets me do is it lets me highlight one aspect of the image by recoloring it. So everything else is in black and white, and one thing is recolored so that it pops from the picture. I also use an app called WordSwag, which lets me create images with text over them, so I can have either pictures that I've taken or images that are within the app, and I can insert text over them in different formats. WordSwag is a paid app, but if you are an Android user, then Google has a scheme called Rewards, and what that lets you do is you answer quick surveys, and they credit your account with money that you can spend in Google Play. So that's how I bought that app. Should I buy lots of expensive equipment? No, definitely not. Everything that I'm using with Instagram is pretty much off my phone. I create quite a lot of my images using Canva. I have, like I said, a tripod that I found in the pound shop, Poundland, and bought that. I recently bought, and I haven't tried out properly yet, I have a fisheye lens that I found in the pound shop for £1, a selfie stick that I found in the pound shop for £1. So I don't have tons of expensive equipment. I found a great selfie light on Amazon, and I think I spent about £6 on that, and that just gives better lighting when you're in a darker environment. So you don't have to spend huge amounts of money. Okay, so no more questions. We're going to move on quick. Keep your questions coming. So we're going to talk about Instagram stories, and Instagram are continuously thinking about how to bring, greater value to their community and to your customers. And Instagram stories I wouldn't say it's new anymore. I would say, I think it's been around for the last year or so, and it was Instagram's kind of take on Snapchat, really. Taking on Snapchat, and what you can do is you can take a photo or a video and you can upload it to your profile. You can add stickers, you can add hashtags or colourful drawings, and it'll be visible to your followers for 24 hours. And it just gives you a little bit of an opportunity to, for another place to be creative. And they've added in familiar tools like Boomerang. So, another thing that they're doing is they've added is app mentions, so you can mention a business from right within your Instagram story, and that's for consumers and businesses, and also stickers, right? So, and you can see those stickers, and there are more capabilities for verified accounts, and apparently now anyone can apply to be a verified account, but the application process, I think, is pretty simple, and you can do it right from within your app if you have the option in the settings. But it's people have kind of there's no rhyme nor reason as to how quickly they get back to you. So these are things that are being tested already by brands, and they're getting great responses, and it's kind of just adds a little bit of a fun element to your Instagram. And it's great if you're a business that sells to other businesses, because you can give people a bit of an insight into your business. If you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that since I moved into this house, which doesn't seem new anymore, I've been here 2.5 years. We inherited a garden, and my husband and I weren't exactly sure what to do with it, because neither one of us are great gardeners. But over 2.5 years, we've learned how to look after it, and we've created a space of our own now. And I share a lot of stuff about my garden on Instagram, because it's something that I really enjoy, but because I work for myself and I work from home, I can fit it in around running my business. So think about how you can use that within your own account. And there is a huge opportunity with Instagram stories. A third of the most viewed stories are from businesses, so people are viewing stories from businesses, and a fifth of stories on Instagram get a direct message. So that could make Instagram stories a first point of contact with most of your consumers. So think about that when you use Instagram stories. Right, so and because the Instagram story content is, ephemeral, that means it disappears. I don't know why I couldn't have just said it disappears. It's perfect for ideas to, to engage time sensitive content. So, if you're running a sale, you can, do something on the day of the sale to engage your followers. So think about how you can make that work with your business, whether it's a sale or a launch, any exclusive things that you want to give to your followers. I always say that don't post exactly the same content on all your social networks, because what is the point of following you on several different social networks if I'm going to see exactly the same thing on the same day at the same time? No point. I might as well just follow you in one place, because that saves me time of checking different social networks. But if you're giving your Instagram followers exclusives, then that's a reason to follow you, and that's a reason for them to engage with you and stay there and be with you the whole time. So think about the content that you share with your Instagram followers. Oh, and it's just animated there. Okay, so we have talked about Instagram stories. Let's have a look at some questions. Do you recommend saving stories? So Natalie's asked, do you recommend saving stories, as I thought they were only viewable? Yeah, so they are only viewable for 24 hours. But what you can do is add a story to your highlights. So if you have, if you look at anyone's profile on Instagram, you'll see that they have story highlights. And what I like to do, so I use mine really as proper behind the scenes. So I've got my highlights at the minute. I've got out and about, so I show places that I've been. So out and about locally, events, just random things that kind of help people see me, this person behind the business, and a bit of my personality. So I don't save every single story. I'll save occasional ones, and you can do that right from within the Instagram story. So I don't have a story live at the moment, but within the Instagram story there's an option that says highlight, and if you click on that, it will give you the option of, if you have more than one highlight saved on your profile, it'll give you the option of adding it to one of those. So I would say do it sparingly, don't do it with every single one. And make the ones that you use count. Do you have any tips for reaching an affluent audience? I sell luxury travel. So my biggest tip about reaching the audience that you want to reach is it's the whole kind of, you have to give to receive. And I know that that goes against what we've been told. Like, you don't give a present to receive a present, but on social media, you have to give to receive. So reaching that affluent audience, find out who they are, do your research, like what places do they hang out? If they're hanging out on Instagram, go and find them. One of the best places to find them perhaps is some of your bigger competitors. Go and look at who's following them, and then follow the people that you think would be interested in your business, and then start engaging with them. So comment on their posts, perhaps share something, like something, and get them to the point where they come over to you, to your profile, and follow you. So you kind of need to do a bit of the legwork. But luxury travel, like, find your competitors, go and look at who's following them, and then pick off a few at a time and follow them and start engaging with them, and they will come to your account and start following you, and then that means that they're part of your audience, seeing your content. Okie dokie. So someone's just asked, how often should I use Instagram stories? I've got to say that some people I see use them daily. I have to be honest, I forget. I forget to do them, and then I think, oh, I should have put that as a story, rather than a post. So I'd say do it as and when you've got something that's a little bit out of the ordinary to share, which means that your audience isn't kind of being overloaded with that content, and they're seeing something that they wouldn't normally see in your Instagram grid. Cool. Okay, so now that we've got some of those out of the way, we're going to look at shopping. So I'm going to do a quick poll again. How many of you have bought something online? So let me know. Oh, wow. Gosh. Right. But so everyone who's responded, 100% of people have said that they have bought something online. And, that's because the way we're shopping is changing, right? It's changing. We want that convenience. We don't necessarily always want to go into a shop to buy things. We want to have the means to buy something online. And shopping is increasingly becoming synonymous with mobile. So, in fact, mobile shoppers are increasingly synonymous with digital shoppers. So 88.5% of all digital shoppers were mobile shoppers in 2016. And by 2020, that's projected to be 98%. And mobile shoppers are increasingly willing to buy on their devices. So 77.2% of all digital buyers in 2016 were mobile buyers. They're buying straight from their mobile phone. And in 2020, that's projected to be 85.8%. And mobile is now influencing more than a third of total retail sales in the US. Now imagine that. If that's what's happening in the US, and we generally tend to follow those trends, that's going to be a similar thing, a similar kind of statistic here, and that's a statistic from 2016. So 37% of US retail sales were influenced by mobile, and that's up from 5% in 2013. So in only 3 years, it's completely exploded, and that's because our devices our mobile phones are kind of like a mini computer, and screens are getting bigger, and it's easier to look at things. So, think about that in terms of your audience, and mobile influences sales in lots of different ways. Consumers use their mobile devices to discover, and they search for and compare prices during their shopping journey. I've forgotten what it's called, but how many times have you gone into a shop and looked at something that you want to buy, and then gone and looked at how much it is online, because you want to see it before you buy it? There's a term for it which I can't remember. That you see something, and then you go and buy it online. I know I've done it before. So whilst mobile commerce is emerging, businesses are reacting to changes in browsing and that discovery behaviour. So among the consumer trends that we expect to have the greatest effect, they are mobile, a demand for personalisation. People want personalisation. They want an increased focus on convenience, and overall, they want a focus on the shopping experience. And shopping on mobile today often feels like going straight from the shop window to the checkout. And in reality, the reality of today's online journey is that people need more space to shop online and to make the decision. So let's start by talking about the space to shop. So shopping online on mobile today often feels like going straight from the shop window to the checkout. And in reality, there is so much that happens in between those two steps. So inspiration strikes multiple times a day on a mobile device. but there is no place to learn more after interest in a product is sparked. So people go to, they go to quite a lot of effort to find what they want. They will screenshot it on Instagram. They DM themselves a link, or they mention friends. They comment on posts asking for more information, or they start to search online by themselves. And in this regard, shopping is quite often like a scavenger hunt. And I've done that. I've done that lots of times where I've asked somebody where they I've screenshotted something and asked them, do you know where I could get this? We all do that. So for a business, it's quite often hard to encourage discoverability, and it's quite a daunting task to think about capitalizing on that moment of discovery and really sparking some interest. We want to build on that momentum and simplify discovery. And discovery is already at the heart of the Instagram experience. They're adding new ways to turn discovery into exploration through to the next layer of shopping on Instagram. And they're doing that by filling the white space that currently exists for consumers between the shop window and the checkout. So what Instagram wants to do is they want to make online shopping feel more like just shopping. And they want to make Instagram feeds work harder to offer more depth to let people find and browse products from brands that they care about through tagged products. Okay, so Instagram already plays a key role for people that want to discover new products. Remember, we talked right at the beginning, we talked about the fact that people do go onto Instagram to discover new products. And compared to print, it's more likely to be used for that discovery and purchase inspiration. So when people explore and evaluate products, they're bound to develop an intent to buy sooner or later. So if you're searching for something, that you want to buy it sooner rather than later. But if somebody's just scrolling through posts and they're looking at different products, that intent to buy develops sooner. Okay. The only available option that a business can offer today is to buy a product via its online shop. And this means an extra step, like adding product details in the comments or asking people to click on a link in their bio. And remember, we said that Instagram doesn't let you put links in your posts, and you can only have one link in your bio. And these extra steps mean that people are less likely to make that purchase. So should not have clicked, went ahead. So with shopping on Instagram, the goal is to make that experience easier for you and for customers to find that product that they love, and for businesses to provide the details on how to purchase really seamlessly within Instagram. And this is going to help people take that kind of, I'm thinking about buying this, to actually going and doing it. So the experience of discovering and then exploring a new product really matters. So once a business has the right content, it should be simple and intuitive and really effortless for consumers to explore it. So that's why the detailed product view within the Instagram shop it prioritizes that kind of immersive and intuitive experience. And that's the way that you kind of increase the relevance of the product experience for people and allow them to spend more time exploring without having to leave Instagram. Because remember, if they leave, they might forget that they want to buy something. They might think they might come back to it later, much later, or they may never come back at all. So, if they decide to click through to a shop website, they'll do that with, armed with more information and really with that intent, wanting to make that purchase. Now, Instagram has a lot of help articles about how to set up your shop. I have never actually tried it because I don't sell anything from my website. But if you sell online and you have a shop on your website, you can link Instagram to your shop and highlight products right within your feed to make it easier for people to purchase from you. And I mentioned earlier on in the presentation Martha Brooke London, which I think, she does a brilliant job in using that Instagram shop experience. She's got a lovely Instagram feed anyway, but if you want to check out how she does it, go and check Martha Brooke London. Okay, so one of the things that you can do on Instagram is really look at how you can stand out with ads. And, you're really, again, think about the channel Instagram is and the type of content that's on there. And it's all about storytelling and, engaging your community. And, you probably will need to experiment a little bit with what works and what doesn't. So, first of all, you have the ability to promote a post directly from your business profile. So once you've set up a business profile, you can create a promotion and you can reach new customers on Instagram. It's really easy to do that. And what are the benefits of Promote? So first of all, you can create ads that will appear on Instagram quite quickly from existing photos and videos, and you can do that whilst you're on the go. Secondly, you can reach more people with your marketing message right where they spend their time. So remember, we talked about 800 million people being on Instagram. So there's quite a few people that are your potential customers. And finally, you can test different ad objectives. So you can test between doing things like getting people to visit your profile versus your website, and make changes quite quickly based on the insights that your business profile gives you, and you can make better decisions and get better results. So the next thing you have is ads in stories. So stories, like I mentioned, they're full screen formats, and story ads appear between Instagram user stories for up to 15 seconds or until somebody dismisses the ad. It's just, you've got kind of more freedom and flexibility to create something within Instagram stories. And remember, we talked about behind the scenes and a bit more personality to add to your story and add to your business. The photos and videos that you share in stories are meant to be kind of the real you, if you like, and relevant to that particular moment. So it's the moment that you're in. And the reason that businesses use that type of content is because it really puts a face to your business. It gives you some transparency and allows your audience to really connect with you. And small businesses are great at that. We are really great at making that authentic connection with our customers and our potential customers. And stories just helps highlight that for you and helps emphasize that for you. So we've covered a lot today, and I know I'm just running over a little bit, so I'm hoping that you can just stay a couple more minutes. But so let's have a quick review of what you can do right now to get started with Instagram. So first of all, if you don't have a business profile and you're using a personal profile, convert that profile to a business profile and start sharing your story with your Instagram community. Second, create and play. Try posting photos and then a video. Maybe create a fun boomerang or any kind of different sort of visual to add a little bit more fun to your grid. Then the next thing, play around with stickers and hashtags within Instagram stories and show your customers kind of a behind the scenes look at what your business is like every day. Like, what's it like being in your business every day? And remember that behind every business is a person, and behind every person is a story. So, Instagram stories is a great place to share yours. And of course, if you've got things to sell, physical things off your website, make it easier for people to shop right from within Instagram. And finally, you can reach more people and, get more action and sales with Instagram ads. So you can create ads for Instagram only, or create ads that can reach your customers across the Facebook family. Now, what I will tell you, the tip that I learned from my day at Facebook is that doing ads on Instagram alone can be a bit more expensive, but when you combine Instagram and Facebook together, your ad spend normally comes down a bit and you get better results. So try doing that and sort of combine your Facebook page and your Instagram profile in terms of ads. Cool. So if you need more help, there is an email address there, the website business.instagram.com, and that will help you with your Instagram profile. You can get tips directly from them. And yeah, I'd recommend following Instagram for Business on Instagram. Again, they share tons of tips and just, you know, get you kind of Instagram ready for your audience. Okay, so before we get to any more kind of final questions, I just have another little freebie to share with you. Small Business Saturday is coming up. It's on the 1st of December this year. And I want to make sure that you're ready for it. And if you want to take part and have an offer, I've actually got a webinar coming up on the 16th of October at 10:30. And that's where I'm going to share how you can create, promote and capitalize on your Small Business Saturday offer. And it's about taking your success from Small Business Saturday and extending it into the new year for your business. So you can see the link there. I'd love for you to register and join me then. So that I'll leave that up, and let's have a look at whether there are any more questions. Oh. Okay, so Jen, so someone's posted they have very few followers and they want to grow. Like, what should they do to grow their followers? So one of the things that I learned about using Instagram in my first year, the first year of using it, is that focusing on numbers doesn't really it's not very motivating. And what you should focus on more is engagement. And it's the same with any social network. So what I would say is, you know, really look at creating content that your followers love, because if they like it and they comment on it, then their followers are going to see it. And look at the types of people that are relevant to your business. Who is your target audience? And go and find them on Instagram and spend time engaging with them. Spend time focusing on what they're sharing and having a conversation with them. How many times a day should I post? So I typically post once a day, and I think once or twice a day is a good number, just because, you know, you have to generate all that content, and you can drive yourself crazy trying to do that. But I think once a day is good. Sometimes I've accidentally posted twice a day because I've scheduled a post and not looked at the date that I've posted, and I've done 2 in one day. And I've had a little kind of uptick in engagement. So you know, I'd say test out what works best for you, and then work with that, but review that on a regular basis. Should I post videos? Yes, absolutely post videos. They just make things more interesting. Use them particularly in Instagram stories, and you know, give your grid a bit of a kind of different look, and give it a bit more fresh content. Should I use IGTV? So I've been toying with that idea, and I have been reluctant to add something else because it's another place where I need to generate content, and I think it is a great place. So if you don't know, Instagram have introduced IGTV for longer format videos. I think if you want to build a video related audience, it's a great place to be. I think Instagram really are trying to rival YouTube, but I would say plan your content. Like, what is your strategy? What are you using it for? How often are you going to post? Like, know all these things in advance, and you know, put time aside to create the videos that you need to be putting up on there. Cool. That looks like that's all the questions. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great sharing these tips with you, and hopefully you have got a lot out of this. And these are directly from Instagram, so hopefully you can take some of this away and start implementing it straight away. Do please join me on the 16th of October at 10:30, talking specifically about Small Business Saturday and how you can get involved with an offer of your own. I hope to see you there, and take care, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.